So first, well, on Thursday, I plan to discuss about the GUI. So the GUI stands for Graphical User Interface. So before we start with the GUI, you need to install. Okay? You need to install Window Builder. Okay? You need to install Window Builder. So the Window Builder is composed of SWT. Also, we call it, this is SWT, is this the swing tool, and it is a swing designer tool to make it very easy to create Java GUI application without spending a lot of time writing code. So you can just drag and drop about the user interface, and yeah, you can do it very easy. So we call it the YCWIC. So what is this one? YCWIC. What you see is what you get. So this is a kind of visual designer, and this layout tools to create simple forms to complex windows. So you can make simple forms, you can make also complex forms. Okay. And the Java code will be generated for you. So in order to do this user interface, you need to install first, but I guess it takes some time. Okay. So before we go the details of this one, please install it today. Or yeah, if you are now in your computer and you have your Eclipse, please run your Eclipse, and then we will install some packages. Okay. So because in my experience, it will take like 5 until 10 minutes. Okay? So I don't want to waste time on Thursday. So please install it now. And if you have any issues before the class on Thursday, so let me know. So once you run the Eclipse, yeah, I will continue to discuss this one a little bit later. So based on the PowerPoint, you need to go to help and then select Eclipse Marketplace. And then in the find, so there's the word find here, you need to type Window Builder. So let me show you. So this is the Eclipse. So there is a menu here, help. So you can just go to help, and then you can go to Eclipse Marketplace. Okay, can you see this one? Okay, so there is an Eclipse Marketplace. When you click this, there will be an pop-up like this, and yeah, you can find anything here. So for our course on Thursday, we will use Window Builder. Okay, so you can see the Window Builder 1.9.5. Yeah, you can also use this 1.9.6, but I guess this is the best one until now. So let's install it. Okay, click the install. If you see this one, yeah, click the install, and there will be another pop-up. So select all those things. Okay. So you need to select all required, everything in this list, and just confirm. So as you see here, yeah, it takes some time. Okay, so I'm afraid that you also need to run in your computer, and different computer may have different installation time. So it will be better if you start to install it now. So on Thursday, I hope that you already prepare with this window builder, so we can directly continue how to build the user interface. Okay, so meanwhile we are waiting this one, uh, some computers or some Eclipse will not work with this way. So in that case, you need to use the alternative way. The alternative way is you can install the packages by go to help and select install new software. So here is still under installation. Actually, you can also do this on help, and then you can go to install new software. So once you are in this pop-up, there's an option work with. Yeah, actually, they have the list, okay, because they already set what kind of packages. If you want to install, then you can just mention the link. So here I put the link. Okay, so let's say if I put this link, if you see this one, the newest one is 1.9.6. Okay, so you can just paste and here, so you can copy from the PowerPoint and then you can paste. Yeah, the result is same. Okay, so you can just click and then you can click this one, so they will install automatically to your computer. But since you are now using the first one, so I don't need to use this one. But this is an alternative way. If your computer didn't work with the first way, you can use the second way. Okay. So if your computer does not work with this Eclipse Marketplace, you can use the second alternative. Okay. So both of them are the same. Okay. Okay, if you finish with the first installation, you will see this page. This is about the license. So you can review and accept before the software can be installed. Yeah, I just check this one. I accept the terms of the license agreement. After you accept it, then you can click finish. Okay, so there's a finish button here. You can just click finish and then now you can see here. It's now installing the software. Okay, and it takes some time. Now it is like 4%. Then maybe it takes 10 minutes or 5 minutes until 10 minutes to finish the installation. Okay, I hope that you can do this installation. So we will go back to this user interface on Thursday. Okay, so we will deal with the basic GUI on Thursday. So today, let's finish the object-oriented programming. So hopefully, if we can finish this one earlier, we can do with this user interface. So on last Thursday, we had this exercise. Okay? So we have a Java class. Okay? We have a Java class. The class name is student. And then we have two attributes, name and GPA. And we have 4 methods and 1 constructor. Okay. So we already know this one. Let's suppose I have one example like this one. Please enter the number of students. So let's see, this is the input. Okay. This is also the input. The student one name is Bob, and then the GPA is 2.5. The student two name is Chloe, and then the student two GPA is 3. And then I input the student name 3 is David, and the student name GPA is 3.1. Okay, so if I run the client program, then I will get this result. The student with the best GPA is David, because it is 3.1, and the average is 2.86. So we will do the average for every of this number. Okay, so we can take a look on this one. We have the student class, get name, get GPA, set name, set GPA, and those are plus. Plus means public. Okay, so every of the methods and constructor, they are public, but the attributes, they are private. So name and GPA, they are private. Okay, and I would like to explain about this a little bit later. Okay, now let's see if we have this client program. So we create this client program. The first is scanner. Okay, you know that this is the comment or statement to get the input from the user. How many students? Then I will have one variable to include the number of students into a variable num of stu. Okay. And after I have the number of students, I would like to create an array. Okay. So this is an array. And then I would like to set the number of array size. Now I have student. Okay. So the student here is the student class. It means I want to create 3 students. Why it is 3? Because I asked the user to input. And let's assume that the user input 3. So there will be 3 students that is defined in this array. Okay, so if you still remember array, okay, so this is the array, and we have in the square bracket, if we input 3, then it means the size is 3. If we input 4, then the size will be 4. If we input 5, then the size will be 5. Okay, and then we have another variables like total equals to 0, and then let's have index equals to 0, and then let's have a variable maximum equals to 0. So we will do the loop. Why we need to do the loop? Because we have several students. So we need to go one by one. So the I, which is the index, will be starting from 0 until the number of students. And then I will get the name. And then I will get the GPA. Okay. And then what I can do next is the stu I. So it means if I have 3 students, then I have 3 place. So this is the stu index 0. And then this is the index 1. And then this is the stu index 2. Okay. And then for the student in index 0, let's make new student. So the new student is having two attributes, which is name and GPA. So I will put those parameters, name and GPA. Okay, so it seems the Eclipse finished to install. Yeah, it takes like about 20, 15 minutes. Okay, so if you finish this one, then you can restart now. So you need to restart your Eclipse to get the new updated for the window builder. Okay, so let me continue with this one. So the student index 0 will be added with the information. So this will have name and GPA. What is the name? Yeah, if you input any name here, then for example, the name is Bob, and then the GPA is what is 2.5, for example. Then the first slot for this array will be the student with the name of Bob, and the GPA is 2.5. Okay. Total plus equal GPA. So we will have the variable total, and it will be updated by plus the GPA. So it means it will be 2.5. So if GPA is greater than maximum, so we want to find the maximum value. If GPA 2.5 is greater than 0, yes, then index will be replaced with the I. So the I will be 0, and then we will do the maximum finding. So because the first maximum is 0, and now we have the 2.5, then we will do the 2.5. So the maximum now 2.5. Okay. And then if we go back to this loop, is it already reaching the number of students? No. Then we will go to the next. So the next will be, I don't know, name is Chloe. And then let's say I input the GPA is 2.75. Then we will add this into the student name comma GPA. So we will insert the name of Chloe and GPA 2.75 into this object, and it will be placed into the array index 1. So the index 1 is here. And then we will add the total. The total is total plus GPA. So 2.5 plus 2.75. So it means 5.25. Okay. And after we have this one, we will check if the GPA is greater than the maximum. The current GPA 2.75 is greater than 2.5. Yes. Then we will update this one. Now it becomes 2.75. Okay. And then again, we will find whether this is already reached the number of students. It is not. Then we will ask again the name and the GPA. So we will input. For example, the name is David, and then the GPA, for example, is 3.1. Then we will input this name, David, and the GPA 3.1 into the index 2. So this is one object. Okay. And after we have this one, again, we will do the total. The total will be 5.25 plus 3.1. So it means the result is 8.35. Okay. And then we will do the checking. What is the maximum? So the GPA, maximum GPA is now 2.75. Compared with 3.01, 3.10, then 3.10 is the maximum. Okay, so this one is changed to 3.10. Okay, so we already reached the 3 students. Then finish. We will go to the next. What is the next here? Okay, we have the student with the best GPA is Q index. So what is the index? So the index will be the last one, the index of David. So it means the index 2. What is the name of the index 2? The student in index 2 is David. And then the average GPA is, okay, we have percent dot 2 F. What does it mean? Percent dot 2 F. So we are going to show a double value with 2 decimals. Okay. So we want to show a double value with 2 decimals. You know, in the double value, you can have many decimal values, but I want to limit only 2. Yeah, we can use this way. Okay. This way is using the printf. Okay. So please check this one. We have the printf for this total divided by number of students. So it means this is the average of the GPA. Okay. Now, if you take a look on this, what does it mean by this? So this, it is only to emphasize. So this, it is to emphasize about the object. So if you have 3, if you have 3 slots like this one, so for example, the first we have name is Bob, and then the GPA is 2.5, for example. And then the second we have name is Chloe, and the GPA is 2.75. And then we have the third is name is David, and the GPA is 3.1. Then in this case, for every slot, so for every place here, we have a specific name and GPA. We have specific name and GPA. We have specific name and GPA. So this means I would like to check on this object. I would like to check on this object only. I would like to check on this object only. So this means we want to find the particular object. Okay. So Java use this to emphasize every object if you are creating many objects. So in this case, we have 3 objects, 1, 2, 3. So we want to get only one specific object. If it is in the array index 0, then we want to find this object and this object. If we are in the index 1, then we want to find this object and this object. If we are in the index 2, then we want to find this object and this object. Okay, so that's the meaning by this. That's why the this always followed by the variable name. It will always follow with the variable name. So whenever you want to change the variable name, it is recommended to use this. But if you use get, you don't need this. So if you set, okay, so here is also set. Okay, we call it, if you still remember, we have two, mutator and accessor. If you are going to mutate or you are going to change, then it is recommended to use this. Okay, if you are in the mutator, then you need to use this. If you are only accessing without modification, you don't need to use this. Okay. So for the mutator, it is recommended to use this. Okay, this is about the student, and we use the array. Now I have another example. I want to create a static method. What is the static method? So if you take a look on this example, okay, in the student class, I would like to make one new method which is static. Okay, this is static. And then this is to check the GPA. If the GPA is greater than 3.5, we will show grade equals to excellent. But if it is not greater than 3.5, then the grade is just general. So I have the next client program. Oh, I think let's do with this one first. So this is the code in the student main, and then this is the student. Okay, so this is the student class. So everything is the same with the Java class diagram. And now I would like to add one more function, this one more method here. So I already put this additional code, or if you want to use the code from this one, that's also okay. Now I have a question. What is the difference between static method and instance method? So a static method can be executed without any instance. An instance method should be executed from an instance or an object. So let's see if I have this additional class. Oh, I think it will be good to do the student main too. Okay, in the student main too, we can check. Okay, there is one error here about the student check GPA. So you can go to the student class, and then you can open this one. So how can you open this code? So you can right click. So after you do the right click, you can click on the source. So you can see here, if you have the code and then you want to add the block comment, it means you want to keep the code because maybe you will need it later and you do not want to execute it. So you can use the add block comment. But now I have the block comment. I want to remove. Okay, I want to delete the block comment. So if I remove, then yeah, it will be removed. So one more time. So if you think that this code gives you a problem and you want to fix it later, so you can go block those code or block those statement, and then you can go to source and then add block comment. So it will automatically give you the block comments. It will not be executed. Now I want to open this one. So again, block this one, and then you can go to source and then remove. Okay, so when you remove this, then now Java will consider this one as the Java statement. The style is not good, so you need to fix the style. You can do with the if you go to the source, you can correct indentation. Oh, okay, maybe this one is not correct. Okay, you can do just manually. Okay, so the code will be something like this one. It is the same with the PowerPoint. Okay, you will see that this is the check GPA and then grade. So if it is greater than 3.5, then the grade will be excellent. If it is not, then it's just general. So after you finish with this one, don't forget to save. Okay. So remember, whenever you do something in your Java class, don't forget to save. So you can see here, there is a star symbol. So the star symbol means your Java class has not been saved. So you can save here, Control S. Okay. So once you save this, then now the student min2 becomes no error. Because here is the check GPA is the error message. Now in this example, I would like to use the array list. I hope that you still remember array list. Because last week we already learned about this array list. And I'm using this array list to check the student, and then I would like to have the same variable total index maximum. Now I have different way to do this one. I'm using while it is true, so I will just give the name and GPA, and then I would like to add. What is add? So I'm adding a new element. Okay. So the new element here is a new object from the student class. And then I have two parameters, which is name and GPA. So the way to add the object is a little bit different with the array. So this is array list. Okay. And then this is the same. We have the total plus equal to GPA. And then we want to find the maximum. And then we will add the object by 1. So it means I want to know the next student. Here is the question. If you want to continue, then you can keep the looping. But if you do not want to continue, so if the answer is no, then stop. And then we will check what is the best student. Okay, the best student is the same way we will get with the index. So this index is different. Okay, if we are using the array list, we use the dot get index. If we are using the array, we use the student index with the square bracket. Okay, so you can see the difference between the array and the array list. And then you will get the average of GPA, and you will see the grade. So here is the static. So here we use the static method. In the static method, you will not call the object, but you will call the Java class, and then you will do the dot check GPA. So this check GPA is the method with static. Okay. So if you are doing this one, let's see. If I want to student dot get name, it is not possible because the get name is based on the instance. But the check GPA, it is not based on the instance. It is static. That's the difference between the static method versus the instance method. If it is an instance method, we can use the method for every instance. If we are using the static method without instance, we can call the method. Okay. So if you run this, name, for example, Bob, and 2.5. Continue, yes. For example, Chloe, 2.75. Continue, yes. For example, David, for example, 3.1. Continue, no. Then, okay, the student with the best GPA is David. The average GPA is 2.78. And then check the grid. The grid is general. Okay, so it means every student. Oh, this one is the this index is based on the best GPA. The best GPA is 3.1. So it's just general. If, for example, if like I make another, for example, Bob, okay, 2.5, yes, and then Chloe, for example, 2.75, yes, and for example, David, 3.60, for example. No, then yeah, the best GPA is David, and then the average is this one, and the grade is excellent. So this is the grade for David. By using this static method, okay, we can check the grade without giving the instance. Okay. So here is calling the Java class, and then this is the static method. Yeah, hopefully you understand the idea about the static method and the instance method. So I give you one assignment. So you will do one assignment in the Kurum. So today I would like to check if you can check the example in the Kurum. So I give you one example about OOP. I'm not sure if you can open this one or not. Can you check on your Kurum?
Can't open yet.
Okay, can you check? There is one about example of OOP with two classes. I set open to public. Can you see this one? Example of OOP with two classes. So I will explain a little bit. In the Kurum, the way to use two classes is a little bit different with Eclipse. If you are using Eclipse, you will have two separate classes. Okay, the first class is the student main, this one. So student main, and the other is student.java. You will separate with different file name. But in the Kurum, you can use class main. This is the client program. And then the class student will be located in the below. Okay, so the class student, the same with the student here, you can use it after the main method. Okay. So after the main class or the client, so this is the client. Okay. So this is the client program, and this is the student class. So if you run this in your Kurum, so the idea is the same. Free, and then what is the name? For example, Bob, and then 2.5, and then for example, Chloe, for example, 2.75, and then for example, David, 3.1. Okay, the best student with GPA is David, and then the average GPA is 2.78. So if you can open this one, please check this example. So I give you one problem for your assignment using this object-oriented. If you cannot open this file, please let me know. So I will find a way to open to you for the example for you to do the assignments. Okay. Okay, any questions?